I knew my husband was cheating when I saw the lipstick stain on his white shirt. It wasn't mine. I don't even wear lipstick. Hello everyone, before we start today's video, I need your help. We've noticed that the channel is losing traction, and subscribing is one of the best ways you can help us. It's quick, free, and allows us to continue bringing you great content. Your support means everything. Let's keep this channel growing together. Thank you very much. Now let's begin the video. I stared at it for a long time, my hands shaking. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, but I told myself to stay calm. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe I was wrong. But deep down, I knew I wasn't. That night, I stayed up late. He was asleep beside me, breathing softly like he had no worries in the world. I reached for his phone, my hands cold. I knew his password, his mother's birthday. I opened his messages. And there it was. Can't wait to see you again, baby. Last night was amazing. Face blowing a kiss. I froze. The message was from a name I didn't recognize. Linda. Clicked on the chat. My vision blurred as I scrolled through the messages. Sweet words. Secret plans. Pictures. My husband was having an affair. My fingers tightened around the phone. My body burned with anger, but I didn't scream. I didn't wake him up. Instead, I made a plan. I was going to catch him. And I was going to do it my way. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I didn't even confront him. Instead, I took a deep breath and got to work. I created a new account on social media. A fresh profile. A new name. A new woman. Linda. I found a picture of a beautiful woman. One I knew he would like. Dark skin, bright smile, curvy in all the right places. I made sure the photo looked real. Not too perfect, not too fake. Then, I sent him a message. Hey you. I couldn't stop thinking about last night. Winking face. And then I waited. It didn't take long. My husband, my own husband, replied in less than 5 minutes. Hey beautiful. I was just about to text you. You're something special. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw the phone against the wall. But I didn't. Instead, I smiled. Because now, the game had begun. For the next few weeks, I became Linda. I flirted with my husband through texts, pretending to be his new secret lover. I learned things I never wanted to know. I learned that he took Linda to the same places we used to go when we were in love. I learned that he told her the same lies he once told me. I even learned that he was planning to take her to a small lodge outside the city, one he had once promised to take me for our anniversary. And that was when I knew. It was time to end this. Time to set the trap. I needed to be smart. If I rushed, he might suspect something. So, I played along a little longer. I sent him sweet messages. I miss you. I can't wait to see you again. And he fell for every single one. Then, I made my move. I want us to have a special weekend together. Just the two of us. No distractions. Let's meet at Moonlight Lodge on Saturday. His response came instantly. Damn baby. I was thinking the same thing. What time? I almost laughed. He was so deep in his lies, he didn't even think twice. 7 p.m. I booked the best room for us. You'll love it. Of course, I didn't actually book a room. I just wanted him there. Alone. Unprepared. And when he showed up, I would be waiting. Saturday came. I dressed up. Not as Linda, but as myself, the wife he had betrayed. I got to the lodge early, wearing a long red dress and heels I hadn't worn in years. I even put on lipstick. The same shade as the stain I found on his shirt. I sat in the corner of the hotel lobby, waiting. Watching. At exactly 7:15 p.m., he walked in. He was smiling. Excited. Looking around, probably expecting to see Linda. But instead, he saw me. His face changed in an instant. His smile disappeared. His body froze. I stood up slowly, taking my time. I wanted him to feel every second of what was happening. Looking for someone? I asked, tilting my head. He opened his mouth, then closed it. His hands were shaking. He looked around, as if trying to find an escape. There's no Linda, I said, stepping closer. There never was. His face turned pale. He swallowed hard. I can explain. I smiled. Oh, I know you can. And I'd love to hear it. But not here. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone. And then, right in front of him, I pressed play. His voice filled the room. His own words. His own betrayal. I had recorded everything. Every message. Every call. Every dirty little secret he had whispered to Linda. The sound of his own voice echoed through the lobby. I love you, baby. My wife. She means nothing to me. I wish I could be with you every night. She doesn't even excite me anymore. One day I'll leave her. But for now, let's enjoy our secret. He lunged for my phone. Turn that off. I stepped back, holding it up higher. Why? Don't like hearing the truth. People were starting to stare. A few guests in the lobby whispered among themselves. A security guard took a step forward, sensing trouble. My husband's face turned red. He looked around, then leaned in, lowering his voice. Let's go somewhere private. We can talk. I laughed. Oh, now you want privacy. Too bad. I think it's better this way. Don't you? He clenched his jaw. What do you want? I crossed my arms. A divorce. With everything I deserve. His eyes widened. You're serious. Very. His lips parted like he wanted to argue, but I didn't give him a chance. I turned to the people watching and smiled. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my husband. He came here tonight to cheat on me. Gasps filled the room. Someone even clapped. I turned back to him. I hope Linda was worth it. And then, without waiting for his response, I walked away. For the first time in years, I felt free. The divorce was messy, but I was ready for it. I had evidence, and I wasn't afraid to use it. He tried to beg. He tried to apologize. He even cried. But I was done. I walked out of that hotel feeling like a queen. The wind felt different against my skin, and for the first time in years, I breathed freely. But the war wasn't over. By the next morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. My husband, ex-husband-to-be, was panicking. He sent voice notes. Please, let's talk. You embarrassed me, but we can fix this. I was stupid. I don't even care about her. It was just fun. It meant nothing. We've been together for years. Don't throw everything away over one mistake. One mistake. One. I ignored him. Let him drown in his guilt. But then, something unexpected happened. Linda texted me. The real one. At first, I thought it was a joke. Maybe someone messing with me. But her message was clear. We need to talk. He lied to both of us. I hesitated. Why would I want to meet the woman who had been with my husband? But curiosity won. I agreed to meet at a small cafe. I arrived first, sitting at a table near the window. A few minutes later, she walked in. She was even more beautiful in real life. Dark skin glowing, confidence in her step. I hated her for a second. Then, I reminded myself, he was the problem. She sat across from me, studying me with careful eyes. I didn't know, she said finally. I swear. I didn't respond. I met him 6 months ago, she continued. He told me he was single. I scoffed. Of course he did. She shook her head. I only found out the truth last week. That's when I stopped talking to him. And then, I saw what you did at the hotel. I raised an eyebrow. You were there. She smiled a little. I watched everything from the bar. And honestly, I've never seen a woman handle a man like that before. Leaned back. So why are you here? She hesitated, then pulled out her phone. Because there's something else you need to know. She slid the phone across the table. I picked it up. And my heart nearly stopped. On the screen was a picture of a little girl. She couldn't have been older than 3. She had my husband's nose. His eyes. His dimples. I looked at Linda, my hands cold. Is this? She nodded. His daughter. My stomach turned. My husband didn't just cheat. He had a whole other life. Linda sighed. I didn't know I was the other woman. I thought I was the only one. I stared at the picture again, my mind racing. How long had this been going on? How many times had he looked me in the eye and lied? I pushed the phone back to her. So what do you want from me? Her expression was unreadable. Nothing. I just thought you deserved the truth. I exhaled slowly. Well, thanks for that. We sat there in silence, two women betrayed by the same man. Then she leaned forward, a smirk playing on her lips. You know, we could make him suffer a little more. And just like that I knew. This wasn't over. Not yet. I spent the next few days planning. Linda and I were never going to be friends, but we had one thing in common. We wanted him to pay. So, we got creative. Step 1, expose him. We gathered everything, messages, photos, receipts, voice recordings. Then, we sent them to everyone. His family, his job, his friends, even his pastor. By the end of the week, everyone knew what kind of man he really was. Step 2, hit his pockets. Linda took him to court for child support. I hit him with divorce papers that would take half of everything. He begged. He cried. He even threatened. But it was too late. By the time we were done, he had lost his reputation, his money, and both of us. And the best part, I never even had to raise my voice. A few months later, I sat in my new apartment, sipping a glass of wine. My divorce was final. I had moved on. And him. Well, let's just say he was still picking up the pieces of his destroyed life. Linda and I never became close, but we kept in touch. She was raising her daughter, happy and free. And me. I was better than ever. Because once, I was a fool. But now, I was unstoppable.